Alright. Let's play some Peggle on the DS. About to become the pegging champion. Hope to God it's not fucking work calling me. Unknown number. Don't care. Now, back to Peggle. Fine, I'll fucking answer it. Hello? Chuck? Where the hell have you been? You're on vacation. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you serious? Yeah, am I mad? Does it sound like I'm mad? Yes, I'm fucking pissed. Because I haven't spoken to you in over a year. And the first thing you told me was you were on vacation. For fuck's sake. Yes, I've missed you. Look, I'm trying to play Peggle. Yes, I will record another video. I know I need to. It's been a month since I've uploaded. Probably do that here shortly. But look, when are you coming home? In a couple weeks. Alright. Yes, we can still do the Steam Deck video. I'm down for that. Yes, you will still have a place to stay. I'm not leaving you to just be homeless after this, even though I should. So you were the one that sent me the Steam Deck then. Well, that's appreciated. Yes, I'll see you in a couple weeks. Alright. Alright, bye. Well, there's a little teaser for the next video. What's going on, guys? My name is Armored Rose. Thank you guys so much for stopping by, as always, and today I'm going to be talking about my favorite portable handhelds in this video. Basically, I'm going to redo a video that I did about 8 months ago. Let me turn off my DS Lite here. Plain and simple, I wanted to remake this video because I wanted to give more care to it, as well as get back in that groove of reviewing handheld systems, or talking about handheld systems, for my next video. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, what you saw in the beginning. Kind of hinted at that. But basically, we're going to be talking about my favorite handheld systems. I want to talk about which ones you should buy, which ones I think that maybe you should buy used or at a discount, maybe not as worth it, and ones that are just not worth it to stay away from. And just overall give my opinions again on these systems, as some of my opinions on these systems have changed pretty drastically, others have stayed the exact same. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this video. The first system I'm going to talk about here is the Nintendo Switch. Plain and simple, I dogged on this system pretty damn hard last time, and I think I was in the wrong for that. Plain and simple, these systems are great, especially for the price points. I mean, $199 for the Switch Lite, $299 for the Nintendo Switch, and then $359 for the Switch OLED. Either way, these are pretty decently priced modern day systems. Now, I will say this system is getting fairly old, and as such, I think I would go ahead and buy one of these used. It's a good system, but the games can be pretty pricey, so if you can get the system for as cheap as possible and save yourself some money to put towards games, I think that's just going to be a better, idea. Plus, again, the system is 8 years old. It's getting to its limit, but that doesn't mean this system is completely useless or, bad. I think I put it in like B or C tier last time, which, no, this system is really damn good. Especially for indie titles and even some retro games with Switch Online. Well, yes, I don't like Switch Online. I think it's a horrible waste of money. That's me personally. If you're someone that just wants one system to play your retro games, you want to play modern day games on the go, you really don't want to buy something like a Steam Deck, again, the Switch Lite is a very good option. I would buy one of these used, as one, they're flooding the market right now, as they've sold over 140 million units, which is crazy. That puts it on the number of the DS, or as close to it as possible, which is nuts. Again, you'll be able to find these for fairly cheap. So if you want to get a Switch, I suggest getting like a Switch Lite. You could scoop those up for like $150. I've seen them as low as $100. Again, they're really solid systems, bunch of cool indie games, I definitely think it's worth it to buy a Switch Lite. Overall, I do like the system, and I think that it is a worthwhile buy. Alright, next system we're going to talk about is the Sony PSP. I fucking love this system. I have a very big soft spot for this system. The only downside I can say to this is the game format. It's the disc format for the games. They scratch easily. A lot of the times they don't work from my own experience. But the library on the PSP is rich, and I love it. It's not as good as some of the other libraries like the Switch or the DS library, for example. But again, they still have a lot of heavy hitters there, and what's nice about the PSP is it's very much pocketable nowadays, which a lot of people like myself, that's a huge factor. I don't carry a bag or a purse around with me. I want something I can just fit in my pocket and take with me to work, or to the grocery store if I'm waiting in line, or just to chill out and play while I'm waiting for someone to get off of work if I'm picking somebody up, I want something I can take with me, and that's not going to be a pain in the ass to lug around. And the PSP definitely has a form factor like that. And again, the exclusives you get with the PSP, the God of War games, Jak and Daxter is pretty fun. You have all of these great Sony exclusive titles. And also, with modded, if you do decide to mod a PSP, a ton, and I mean a ton of great things you can emulate, like PS1, for example. If you want to get a PS1 to take with you, this is definitely the best option for that. Overall, I think the PSP is a very good system, and right now, they're going for around $100, give or take. Maybe more, maybe less, it depends on which one you get. You could get one from Japan, for example, that's a bit cheaper. But you would have to mod it. I don't think these things are... Oh, no, they are region-free. They are region-free. So, may not be a bad idea to get one of these in this condition. But overall, yeah, these are great systems, and I really have no complaints with the PSP. I think it's a phenomenal system, and I think that you should absolutely buy one in 2024 if, you're considering it. Alright, let's go ahead and talk about the system. The reason I made this video. I was going to save this system till last, but I just feel like talking about the other systems would not really work as well. The best value is the DS Lite. This system is crazy for the value. This is the best bang for buck right here for a portable system. The one I have here, I got for $50, and that's a little high for the asking price. Well, actually, no it isn't. In fact, that's pretty middle of the road. You can find these systems for $40 to $50 a piece, online or in person, and honestly, these are fantastic. I absolutely love this system for the price that you get. Plus, if you get something like an R4 card, you have a big-ass library of games. The DS has some of the best games of any handheld system. You have like the Mario, New Super Mario Bros. You have the N64 port of Super Mario 64. I don't know why I just didn't say Mario 64 DS or some shit like that, but that's a fun port. You have games like that. You have some of the Zelda titles, and the third-party titles as well. You have things like Dimension of the Ward, which I should definitely remake that video. You have the Phoenix Wright titles. You have 999. All of these amazing titles, and again, the library on this is huge. I'm a massive-ass Sonic fan. All right, spoiler alert. I love Sonic, and plain and simple. This has a bunch of good Sonic games. Sonic Colors, Sonic Rush, great fucking titles for the DS. And plus, if you want something like a GBA, which we'll cover later on in this video, this has a GBA slot. This is the cheapest Game Boy Advance you can currently buy, by the way. Again, we'll cover that one pretty much next. But yeah, I love this system. I think it is phenomenal. For $50, this is a steal right now. Get you one of these and an R4 card. Or, if you want, your physical games, like mine, grab your physical title. Again, they're fairly cheap. You could use the Game Boy Advance slot and play a bunch of Game Boy Advance games. It is a phenomenal system. This is the value king of this video, hands down. Alright, this is where I might lose some of you guys. Let's talk about the Game Boy Advance. I love this system to death. This is an amazing system. I grew up with the GBA, the SP model is the one that I grew up with. But God, this system is way too expensive in 2024. This is too damn high. This is too damn high. Like, this is nuts. Okay, $179. $160, $150, $100, $60 without the fucking charging cable or games. $70 right here. Fucking $65, $199. This shit is crazy expensive when you can just buy a DS Lite that has a GBA slot on it. Now granted, I know not everyone's going to want to use a DS Lite for GBA games, especially if you want to play the regular Game Boy and Game Boy Color libraries. Then yes, I do think that the GBA is definitely a worthwhile system, and if you could find one for cheap enough, sure, but I would say don't spend over $60 on one right now, because this shit is crazy expensive. A lot of people love this system, and as such, nostalgia has driven prices sky fucking high. Overall, it's a really good system. I fuck with this system a lot. I love it to death, but for me, I'd rather go with my DS Lite. I can play the DS library and the GBA library in one package, and again, the screen on the DS Lite is nice. It's a fully it's a backlit screen here. You can see it here. It's kind of hard to see on my camera, but again, it's a fully backlit screen. It's a nice looking screen, and I think especially if you're going to look at a GBA that doesn't have a backlight, just buy one of these instead. That's my own opinion, but again, it's a phenomenal system, but it's so goddamn expensive right now. If you want to just buy one, go ahead. It's your money. I would definitely say it'd be a worthwhile purchase if you can find it cheap enough. But I'm just going to recommend the DS Lite over the GBA in a lot of ways, just because price. If it wasn't up to price, then yeah, I could see definitely, why you would choose a GBA over a DS Lite in a lot of ways. But I'm always going to go with the DS Lite. Alright, ending up the roundup of our Nintendo systems, we got to talk about one of my favorite, if not my favorite handhelds, at least mainstream handhelds, the 3DS. God, I fucking love this system. You can play pretty much everything you can play on the DS Lite and more on the 3DS. The only reason I choose to carry around my DS Lite over my 3DS XL is because of size. That's it. If this was smaller, if I had a regular 3DS, I probably wouldn't touch this damn thing. Especially because I'm into modding. If you're not into modding, then I can definitely see a reason to get this over the 3DS. Again, Game Boy Advance slot, very nice to have. Plus, the DS games look a lot better on the DS Lite, in my opinion. But this system is still a fucking beast. The exclusives are insane. Some of the best Zelda games and Mario games out there. Kid Icarus Uprising, genuinely one of my favorite games of all time, is a system seller. I would go out and spend the money on a 3DS for Kid Icarus Uprising. But again, that's just me. These things are easily moddable as well. They're fun as hell to carry around. You got Smash Bros in your pocket too. Like, what more could you ask for? Again, you can play all the DSi, DS Lite games, all the DS games you want to play, and all the GBA games if you mod it, or if you have some downloaded onto your system. It won't run GBA games natively, it doesn't have a slot for it, but if you're big into modding like I am, just load a bunch of Game Boy Advance ROMs on here. Like, it's crazy. And they'll work, they'll run natively, because again, Nintendo has been using the same architecture for years. Sometimes it sucks, but sometimes it's really fucking nice. And I gotta say, this is a really nice device to play GBA games on. Price-wise, though, these can be a bit pricey. Alright. These are, in fact, I've seen these way more expensive sometimes, or, than the GBA, for example. These can be fairly pricey. But I think that they hold their value and their worth a lot more. You can just do more with these systems as is. Not to mention, again, you can find these for a decent price nowadays. It isn't too bad. Like, again, this one here for $95, I'd say that's worth it. So overall, I love this system. I think it's fantastic. But again, I don't think this comes so close to being the best handheld on this list. I just think there's one more that beats it. But before we get into the best handheld, in my opinion, right, this would definitely be the bronze medal, or not bronze, silver medal. This would be the bronze. Last one's going to be the gold medal. Let's cover some honorable mentions and a dishonorable mention, shall we? Before we jump into that, there's one system I completely forgot while recording this video. The fucking PS Vita. How could I forget this? I'm gonna move my OBS screen. How the fuck could I forget the fucking PS Vita? The PS Vita is a fucking phenomenal system. Oh my god, I feel so stupid for fucking forgetting the PS Vita. Yeah, this system fucks. You can play all of your PSP games on here and more. I love this system. They are pricey though. I will say, you're gonna have some money to spend. You're gonna have some money to spend with these systems. They go for around the same price you would find a 3DS. They're pricey, and the SD cards for these little bastards are even worse. I hate the SD cards these things use. I don't know why Sony just didn't allow us to use a regular SD card. I'm sure someone's made an adapter, but plain and simple, yeah, this system is fantastic. Love this fucking system, for damn sure. Especially pocketability wise, this thing is just, oh, it's so nice, it's so modern. God, I love this fucking system. I'm sorry for the PlayStation, heads out here. I'm sorry I forgot to mention the PS Vita. I think this is honestly better than the PSP. There, I said it. Some people will definitely not agree with me on this, but I love this system a lot. Yes, the system is fucking fantastic. If you can get a PS Vita for a decent price, abso-fucking-lutely. But let's go ahead and get on to our honorable and dishonorable mentions. Okay, for our honorable mention, we're gonna have handheld emulators. These are basically, again, Linux-based systems, Android-based systems that are specifically made for retro emulation. And the reason I put these in here as honorable mentions is plain and simple, they're way too broad, okay? There are a fuck ton of these things, and I like these systems. I had a Retroid Pocket 4 for a while, but I sold it because I just prefer having a regular handheld. I think especially if you're going to buy something like a 3DS or a number one option here, I think those do it much better than these systems do. And plus, it's just easier to recommend these systems. I mean, a lot of these are Chinese based. They won't have the best customer support. Again, I love these things that can emulate a bunch of shit, but again, you're always going to be emulating something. That's what these are. They're dedicated emulators. You're not going to be able to play games natively. You won't have its own, the system won't have its own library dedicated to it. And a lot of these, systems that you want to emulate can be emulated on other devices. So that's why this is an honorable mention here. But again, I like these systems. Overall, they're great, especially if you're on a budget. A lot of these cheaper ones, like 40 or 50 bucks, have a fuck ton of libraries of games you can, pull from. But again, I had to give these an honorable mention. Now for the dishonorable mention. I fucking hate this thing coming up. Okay, the dishonorable mention goes to the Playdate. I have never fucking met anybody with one of these, and god damn it, these are expensive. For $199 fucking dollars. Who the fuck is buying one of these? That's ridiculous. I shouldn't even mention this in this fucking video. But god damn it, this pisses me off so much that it is $199 fucking dollars. I'm surprised this company hasn't gone out of fucking business. Who the fuck is gonna buy one of these? Look, if you have one and you're happy with it, cool. But I could buy a 3DS for that much. I could buy a DS. I could buy 2 DS Lites for this much with R4 cards and SD cards. I could buy a PS Vita. I could be, $100 away from buying the number one system. At least currently. But oh my god. Don't buy a Playdate. There's no fucking reason to buy a Playdate over these systems. You want a good pocketable system? Buy yourself a DS Lite, an R4 card, mod the shit out of it. Buy a 3DS, mod the shit out of it. Buy a PS Vita or a PSP. Anything else. God. Let's go to our number one. Now, this shouldn't be a surprise. This was my top pick in the last video, and it's going to be my top pick in this video. And it's also what the next video is going to be about. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you the Valve Steam Deck. This is my overall best system you can buy in 2024. A lot of people may not agree with me on that, but this is my list. I don't give a shit. I love this system. The only drawback I really can consider of this system is the size. It's as big as my fucking head. I mean, look at the comparisons here. This is my DS Lite. This is my 3DS here. This thing is huge, but it is amazing. I can play full-on PC games on this system. I can play a bunch of emulators. I can emulate every system I've mentioned in this video on the Steam Deck and more. I can emulate a PS3 on the Steam Deck with some success. It's an amazing system, and especially for how much I paid for mine, it is insane. All right, I paid for mine, and they still have it going on. $350 here for the 64 gig. I paid $300. It was on a summer sale, but I would buy these while supplies last. Plain and simple, they're just trying to get rid of these. They've discontinued these models, and they will sell these until they are out of stock. So I would definitely hop on that bandwagon and buy one of those, especially if you want to play a bunch of Steam games. Again, there is really no system that compares to the Steam Deck, and I love it, which is why it's getting its own dedicated video. And maybe the DS Lite or the 3DS at some point as well will get their own dedicated video. But for right now, that's the next video coming out from me. But yeah, the Steam Deck is absolutely my #1 option in 2024. Anyways, that's the end of this video. Let me know, did you guys like this video? Did you hate it? Should I do other types of videos like this, or should I not, Also, let me know if you guys are excited for the Steam Deck review coming out in a couple weeks. My name is Armored Rose. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out. Man, I gotta play some Pickle.